This week, the Fiends watched
The Menu.
Oh my God.
This is what you're paying for. It's all part of the menu.
It's okay.
No, we're gonna die today.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
What did you think of The Menu? Spoiler free for now.
For now, I would say that overall, I was delighted by The Menu. I found it very entertaining. From the acting, from the actual film itself, it felt like a film, and I enjoyed that. Ralph Fiennes killed it. Anya Taylor-Joy killed it. Nicholas Hoult killed it. So overall, Mikey,
Awesome.
I really liked The Menu. What did you think about The Menu?
I thoroughly enjoyed The Menu as well. A little problem with putting it all together at the end, I think. I think it's a little messy when it comes to the end. The mystery is not as satisfying as I wanted it to be, but it's very, 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 very quietly directed. This movie felt like Ari Aster mixed with M. Night Shyamalan at his peak, in the beginning especially, like in the first half. It felt so on point, but subtle. Like the direction was so subtle, but precise, and everything seemed like it was mapped out, planned out, and executed to perfection. So the directing, I really, really, really have no problems with. It's more of the story at the end that I have an issue with.
Is he gonna keep doing that?
Any questions?
Button, Mikey, it's my biggest problem. How
The button.
they buttoned it up.
The button. Oh, the button up, the button up. Yep, the button it up.
I'm
button it
with
up.
you on that, dude.
Yeah,
At
'cause
first the zipper came down, right?
Yep.
But then when and then you got to button it, the button.
They just never button the button at the end.
Never button the button. That's the weakest point of this film.
Yes, because the entire time it's about a group of people who have paid quite a bit of money
$12.50.
to go, not $12.50, but to go to an exclusive island where one of the best chefs in the world will serve you, non-sexually. And we got our cast of characters, right? And I like the cast of
I
characters.
like the ensemble.
Great ensemble. And you're wondering what's wrong because we know something's fishy. Not just the food. We know something's fishy. So the whole time you're watching it, you're wondering, what is this mystery? What is this master chef? What's his master plan? Why are all his... This is like a cult. It feels like a cult.
Very
But what is
cultish.
going to happen? We know our main people are in trouble. What is going to happen? That's the main gripping point of the entire movie.
Right. You're like, well, why is this person here? Why
Yes.
is that person here? And
Yes.
you're slowly finding these things out, right? That's the point of the mystery.
Yes.
Throw a little bit of comedy here and there. There were some parts that said,
For sure.
I go, hey, did it? I didn't laugh out loud, but
Me
good
neither.
job. Good
That-
job.
There were some parts where I was like, ooh, like I could tell maybe on the day they were filming it and it's supposed to be funny, but then when they edit it all together, it doesn't, the tone of the movie is not funny really. So like it just didn't work. Some lines by like the shady business guys, there were
Yeah.
certain things that
The
were supposed-
bros.
The bros.
It's gotta be a bit. Are you fucking serious?
They were supposed to be funny and they didn't land with me. So yeah, some of the comedy didn't work for me. I think that might have just been changed in the editing room where they're like, no, we need to go more serious and kind of artsy and elevated horror, so to speak.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And you know
I
what
definitely
happened
say
in that scenario?
What happened in that scenario?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, Mikey, there are way too many cooks in this goddamn kitchen in this
there
movie.
85 in there?
Jeez, man.
And they're all here for chef.
They're all here for chef and played brilliantly by Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, I mean,
Kills it.
What a performance, dude.
Water? It's a water performance, man. It's a water performance.
Water performance,
All
dude.
the way.
Ocean water in some cases.
That's
they put
it.
it in their food.
I will bleep it.
Isn't that right?
Water sometimes, Mikey, in the menu. It's ocean water.
This guy puts this fucking guy puts together dishes like rocks and seaweed.
We're eating the ocean.
We're eating the ocean.
Are you crying?
It's just I find it all very moving.
I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't eat one goddamn thing on any plate that he served.
I would start doing the Hook, Rufio, Lost Boys of like the fake
Yes.
food and stuff. Like throwing
Imagining, I'm imagining
bread with this
food.
dip.
Yes,
Because I wanted
yes.
some of those dips with some of that bread. You know,
Yeah,
but there's no
man.
bread, right? Because they're for peasants like me.
Yes. And also in the movie, they do a weird thing where they go by courses. So they'll literally have letters come up on the screen. Course 1, Course 2, Course 3, Course 4, Course 5. And then that's where a little bit of the comedy comes into play, but that didn't land with me because it didn't hit.
No.
By the end, they do somewhere it's like, oh, final burger. It's just like it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't fault it for that because I
No.
liked how they were setting up in these little chapters, so
Right.
to speak.
I'm a sucker for a movie with chapters.
Absolutely.
Kevin Smith does it. Ari Aster's done something like that kind of before.
Yeah. Before we get to spoilers, though, I did like the cast of characters. You don't know who they are. You don't even know who Anya Taylor-Joy really is. There's suspicions, but you come to find out that everyone did something bad, basically, and the chef is there to punish them, right?
Right.
So that's kind of the basic plot of the film.
Yeah.
Is that they're being had.
They're getting got.
They're getting got. So
But some of them just don't look. I don't think anyone deserves anything bad to happen to them really in this movie.
No,
but like
course
some of
not.
them, you're like, oh wait, that's not even that bad.
Yeah, 'cause
you're
the-
like, oh wait, that. Oh really, John? Like the Leguizamo?
So let's get into spoilers
Yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah.
round out because I need to mention this.
Sure.
So spoilers now, guys. Dude, so they are there, and the chef has basically planned his master menu. He's serving all these courses, and everyone on that island will die by the end of the night to complete the menu in his sick mind.
It
right?
only works if everyone dies.
Yes, and the reason why I feel dumb is because I feel like this movie went over my head, and I feel like it went over a lot of people's head because it did not execute what it was trying to say. It's obviously trying to say something about class. It's obviously trying to say something about workers in the service industry versus rich, well-educated, wealthy people who go into these sorts of restaurants or anything like that. It's trying to say something to that.
Yep.
But I don't know what it's trying to say.
I'm with you.
Right?
Mike, yeah, I felt dumb.
Okay.
I'm glad you said that because
Thank
I'm
you.
going, I mean, I think I get it, but wait a second. Is that really what they're trying to push here?
But what are you? We all know that, there's servers who get treated kind of badly sometimes, and we all know that there are asshole wealthy people. But what are you trying to say?
Right.
That's where it falls apart for me.
Right. Like Nicholas Hoult is the foodie influencer, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, look, I get that part. Social media, everything. He's obsessed with just
Photos, yep.
just trying to get everything on social media. Knows what's in all of it, but really can't just digest the art of it, right? It's more just, oh, is this in there? Oh, no, I know. How'd you make that? He knows everything about it. I think it was a combination of class, social media, and probably elitism is kind of class. So maybe it's just class.
I didn't get any social media in this at
or
all.
influence or
When did they say he was an influencer?
Well, that's why he was always taking pictures for his thing. I think he's a known influencer for food.
When did they say that though? They only show him taking photos of it.
I could have sworn it was established, but I could be
No.
wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
I
So
just watched
he's
last
just a
night.
fan. He's just
Yeah,
a rich
foodie.
fan. He's a rich.
Well, we
foodie.
find out the reason why he's at the island. He's been in contact with the chef for
With the
6
chef.
months.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's the only one who's in on the chef's plans.
and still came and still knew about
Yes.
it. Yeah.
So anyway, I think a major problem logistically with this movie as well is they are all being subjected to these horrible things. A chef kills himself right in front of them as the first real,
The mess.
a brutal scene in the movie. From that point on, no one really fought back, and that's what got me. I'm like, it didn't feel as real as I wanted it to feel because there would be so many, they're just sitting there doing nothing most of the time in this restaurant when they literally all could have just made a fucking start punching people in the face, just make any sort of escape plan.
Totally.
And they just didn't. So
He addresses it later, though, right? Ralph Fiennes addresses that.
Well, no,
like,
he just says it.
Yeah.
He just says, you guys didn't even put up a fight.
He's like, what does that really say?
But it doesn't
about you?
explain anything.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain anything. It's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Right, the button, dude, it's the button. The button of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just not as satisfying. And I totally agree.
Yeah, what are we supposed to get? And then, spoilers, the only person who survives is Anya Taylor-Joy. Everybody else blows up, right? But what are we supposed to get from it?
Yeah, why is she the survivor? And what does that say about the end of the film? Doesn't really tell you much.
Nothing
Zero.
ties up together. I mean, I felt like Midsummer tied up better, and I didn't even like the way Midsummer tied up, but that was more vague as well.
That's a good point.
But this, it's so messy, the end, that I wish it was more of a complicated, well put together mystery that fully answered itself by the end. And I feel like it just didn't.
The purifying flame. It nourishes us, warms us, reinvents us, forges, and destroys us. We must be cleansed.
It just didn't do that. I'm sorry.
I agree with you on that
yeah.
point. And I know we're wrapping up. Do we
Yep.
want to give any... We recommend it? I recommend it.
No, while I was watching this movie, I loved every minute of
Yeah.
it. I was fully engaged with the movie. Definitely recommend it.
Definitely. It's on HBO Max, or if you're a dumb idiot who didn't realize that and you bought it on iTunes.
Absolutely.
Sucks to be you, you know?
Sucks to be you.
But it's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. So we both recommend it.
Totally.
We're going to do a little bit longer audio version of the podcast. So click on the link in the description to listen to that. You know, we're just going to dive into it a little bit more, but some other problems we had.
And we're going to talk about the times we got satisfied.
Definitely, because I did get satisfied a few times.
Me too.
But all right, let's do some scores.
Let's give a score. You got to go first.
I will give this movie a 7.8.
Mikey, I swear on Christ's body.
You swear on Ralph Fiennes?
Ralph Fiennes. If I go Ralph, I was going to say a 7.9.
No way.
So we're right there, dude. We are right there.
You know what, dude? For that,
I'm going to eat a fucking.
you get a fucking
I don't
Fruit
wanna eat
Loop.
that one 'cause
You get a Fruit Loop, dude.
Hands been,
Get a Fruit Loop, man. That's it.
Like,
That's so stale.
no, guess what? Mikey has crunch.
I know. I put them in a plastic bag. I haven't eaten them in months, but they're fresh. They're
It
fresh.
tastes like I was 8 years
That's
old
it.
all over again.
All right, so click the link in the description if you want to hear us dumb idiots talk about this anymore. If you don't, hey man, thanks for at least coming by and not watching The Leprechaun, because no movie will ever touch The Leprechaun.
Come on, what are we talking about?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
So that's it. We're gonna wrap up. Thanks for dining by the watch one more time.
As always.
We'll be back next time with not a plate of horrible food.
Definitely.
In the arms of the angel.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.